generating a character in Autodesk character generation. So after we generated our character in Character Generator, and it's built right here and it's been downloaded, there's a couple things you can do. One, you can delete it, but I'm sure you don't want to do that. You can go back and edit. If you made a mistake, you can go back and edit. It'll build another avatar here. And you can also generate the character. But before we do that, let's go and take and pick on this little guy here. So let's go and take a look at the full body thumbnail here. So we're looking at the full body here, or we can look at the head here. And depending on if you have an OpenGL graphics card, you can sometimes preview this in an XML into your browser. So you might be able to do that if your graphics card allows. But now what we need to do, because this is in the cloud, you don't have this file yet. We need to generate the character. So what we're going to do is click on this, and it'll say, okay, what are we going to generate? First is let's pick the character height. We can go in centimeters or in inches. I'm going to go in inches. So that's 70 inches. That's a tall person. So let's say we go 5'6". So that's like 66 inches. We come over here to the poly resolution. You'll see that it is these two, crowd and low. If we only pick one, it's going to generate a file with low resolution, but it's free. These two here, the medium and high, are cost extra, are premiums. And so even though it's free to students, it will cost you extra credits to go medium or high. What do you want to keep in textures? You want to keep the clothes, and if you're going to do some rendering, you want to check on your specular map and your normal maps. What kind of geometry you want? You always want quads. That's a 4-sided polygon. 3 sides are not as good, but quad is better. Over here in facial expressions, you can say none. But if you do want them, like let's say you want to do make the smile be able to move, the lips move and the face smile, you can check that on, but that is going to cost you some credits, and you can have some rigging in there so that it has the muscles and the bones in there as well, so that you can change the rig and have the mouth talk, for example, if you wanted to. And if you say none, you're going to get the look of the model that you've made itself, the expression of the model's face when you generated it. When you come down here, you can choose what kind of generation file type you want. For Mudbox, we want generic. If you're going to go out to 3ds Max or to Maya, you can pick those. And if you're going to go to Unity as well. So generic is the best one that's suited for Mudbox. The skeleton resolution, we can go up to high if you want. And for character orientation, we want Z up for Mudbox, Y up for 3ds Max or Maya type thing. And we can generate. So down here, it says, oh, this is worth 5 credits. Okay. So and I can just say, oh, I can reset or generate. So I'm going to generate this. And this will take some time, and what's going to happen, it's going to go out to the cloud, it's going to build this file, and it's going to go into the generated characters. So it'll take some time, it'll build. I will stop the recording and I'll come back to this, and I'll show you then what we do after this shows up in your list of this, characters here once you've generated it. You can see after about 5 or 10 minutes, depending, it'll generate your character. Now make sure you're clicked on generated characters. It'll give you some of the basics of the time when it's done. You know, its height, its poly, its quads, etc. Some of the basic information. Now, I can come over here in the preview. And in the preview, depending, again, if you have an OpenGL, you can preview this model. So I can hold, and depending if my graphics card is going to be able to do this, yep, I'm going to hold my my Alt key down in my left mouse, and I can rotate it around, or I can dolly in and out type of thing, right? And so I can kind of get a good idea of what things look like, okay? Now, that's just the preview. If I want to purchase and download it, okay, I have to come over here and say your cloud credit balance is unlimited credits. So because we are a student, we have unlimited credits, and the cloud credit cost for this character is 5 credits. And I can purchase and download this. So I can go and say purchase and download, and it generates the file down here into a zip file. Okay, so I'm going to then come up, click on it, say show in folder, and it's in my download folders. I am going to cut it out of there. I'm going to right click and say cut, and I'm going to throw it into my folder under my digital sculpting for Mudbox, my character generator. I'm going to copy over here and paste it. And you can see now this is a zip file. So I just right click on it and I extract all. And I'm going to say, yep, let's extract all. And boom, it created an FBX file. All right, so with my FBX file, now I can go in and open up my Mudbox. And I'm going to import my FBX file. Okay, so it's an FBX. It's not a MUD file. It is an FBX file, which is the go-to file from Autodesk for interchangeability, and so it will generate fine. And remember, this is all to get a fast character. It's not the finished character. Okay, so I'm going to close this. I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to import. And what am I going to import? I'm going to go back out to my documents and go to my digital sculpting with Mudbox, character generator. I'm going to go to Sarah here and go to Sarah School Teacher, and I'm going to say open. And here's one of the problems that we're going to end up with. Anytime we do things, we might have problems with the with errors. Okay, so I'm going to just say keep them. Okay, we can use NetFab to fix errors later. All right, now you can see where all the errors are happening in red. Okay, so for now, I've already generated a model. Okay, and my model is in 3D, and I can do whatever I want with sculpting it. All right, so it is a great starting point. At this point, I can come along and I can fix things, anything I like or dislike. I can do whatever I want. I can pose, etc. But this is a great starting point, and maybe it's not quite like you wanted, but you can make some alterations to it, like if the hair is not long enough, which is one of the common problems, by the way, is people say, I want longer hair. You can come in here now and you can do some refinement type thing. I would add some refinement in here in the hair and give it some longer hair. But they generally don't like to give long hair models in the generator. But it is great for coming up with all the clothing, etc. And to solve these errors, I would run it through NetFab, and I would do an automated repair in NetFab, and that should take care of those little issues there that we see in red. Okay, you might be able to just sculpt those out of there as well. All right, but this is a great workflow to get started in Character Generator to Mudbox. And there we are. There's Sarah, our grade school teacher.